about fears. Let's talk about love. Yeah, I got fears, but I ain't got no love.
Okay, welcome back to Unsolved No More. This is the first video that I've done since the 100K live video, and I want to still thank you so much for that. And because of that, I think we may be doing lives again every week going forward for a specific case, just for members. Now, I'm not sure yet, but that's the way it's going. The reason for today's video is because I want to talk about my new show that we're going to do here on Unsolved No More. And it is a show about small town cold cases. And this is titled Exit Unsolved. You know, picture yourself, driving down a road, almost like The Sopranos opening scene. And you see the exit signs for Baltimore or wherever you're going. And just picture one of those big green signs that say unsolved 20 miles. Until you drive that 20 miles until you get to the exit. And at that exit, it's exit unsolved. And you go into that small town and work that cold case. All these famous cold cases, they have the imagination, meaning that's what people want to see. However, I'm not about what the people want to see. I'm about helping. Now, if people tune in because of it, great. But there's so many cold cases out there, and I don't know what the number is. The number 10 years ago used to be like 200 and something thousand unsolved cold cases, and I think that includes missing persons. I would hope that it did. But there are so many cold cases that people have no idea about, and they're just as important as John Benet Ramsey. They're just as important as Lacey Peterson. Well, that one's solved, but you get the point. I wanted a show that helped. See, because listen, very few of you probably have sat down across a table from a cold case victim's family member. And I have. And let me tell you something. It is gut-wrenching. If you have empathy and you're not a narcissistic sociopath who has no empathy for people. If you do, it will grab you from the inside and twist you. Because you're looking at this person and they're looking back at you, but you see the hollowness of their eyes, the void of life. The life has been sucked out of them. And they now put their entire faith in you. In you. You're the one that's sitting there. And you're looking at them in their eyes, because eye contact is very important. But peripherally, you seeing the monuments, the pictures of their dead loved one on the wall, the urn, whatever it is. They can't let go. And they shouldn't let go. It's a period of their life that has just been ripped apart. And to make it worse, it's unsolved. So people like to throw the word closure around. Listen, nobody ever gets closure. Okay? You get resolution of some sort. And sometimes, I used to say that solving cold cases was that's what I did. That's my job. I solve cold cases. Well, the reality of it is, what's your definition of solved? Because if it is someone being arrested, or someone being arrested and convicted, or is it somebody arrested, convicted, and sentenced to life or death? There's varying stages there, right? So for me, I've backtracked a little bit on that. And I used to be real cocky, and I guess, I guess some people still think that I am. I would like to say that I'm confident. But I could say before I was certainly cocky, because when anybody would ask me, well, how many cases you solved? And I'd say every single one of them. That's pretty cocky, right? But in my mind, I would say that because I know who committed the crime. Now, fast forward 10 years and 15 years, and I will say I don't know every single person that committed the crime. I could get you close. I can get you a type, that type of thing, but I don't know for sure. But my backpedaling has been because I don't think it's always about solving the case anymore. It's about moving the case forward. However that is, whether it's podcasts, whether it's YouTube, getting out to people. But this new show is because I've met, and so many victims' family members have contacted me in the past, and I simply can't fully investigate every single one. I just can't. But I can do videos, and I can do news shows that will help move that case forward. Now, solving a case to me, a lot of times, is to sit down with a family member and say, hey, listen, based on the evidence that I see, this person is responsible, or this type of person is responsible, meaning you're going off of a crime, a scene assessment, or a criminal profile. But this is what happened. This is the sequence of what happened. This is why it happened. Sometimes when you are able to give that to family members that have been waiting decades for answers, that's all they want. And I'm able to do that. Therefore, I must do that. Hence, this new show idea. So, although I love the comfort of my home, and I'm not much of a sociable person, as a lot of you know, and I tend to like to do a lot of my analysis right here. Yet, sometimes it's very important to go out on scene and talk to people. So, how do we balance that? Well, this is what I've come up with. So, I have a team of people that are as dedicated as I am. They want the truth as well. And it's a small number of people that I have. But let's say you, and I'm talking to you, you are the family member or best friend of a victim of a cold case, and you feel the case is stalled. I have my team. You contact me and tell me, hey, I have a cold case. 1974 murder. It's never been solved. Police seem to have given up on it. Can you help me? You know what we are going to do now? I am still going to do a deep dive into that case. But I'm also going to send out my team. 1, 2, maybe 3 people. To you. And you become involved. How do you become involved? Well, we sit down. We talk to you. Interview you. Hey, tell us about the case. From your side. From the family side. From the friend side. You show us the location of where the murder occurred. Take us there. We want to see it. We want to feel it. Then all that information comes back to me here, where I can analyze it. And I can say, yes, I believe that this happened. Or no, I don't believe that it's this way. But I'm able to see the locations. I'm able to feel the pain that the victims' families and friends have. Hence, exit Unsolved. So, right now, I've got 2 sets of teams out looking at 2 different murders. One is in Florida, and it is the murder of Melody Gay, 19-year-old white female. From March 7th, 1984, she went missing from a 7-Eleven in Florida. She was found, I believe a couple weeks later, and she was sexually assaulted, and the case has gone unsolved. Now, I'm just giving you a brief overview of the case. I certainly don't want to go into specifics because I don't have everything yet. But she was found in a water canal face down and obviously deceased. And her parents never got the answers that they so rightly deserved. So I'm going to take it upon my shoulders and my team's shoulders to go down to Florida and see what's going on. You can do a lot from the comforts of your home with the internet anymore. Yet, these small town cases deserve more than that. And that's why we're going to the scenes. So that is one case that we're working on. That's probably going to be episode 1 or 2. The second one is it's a Maryland case, just south of Pennsylvania, across the border. And that is the murder of 15-year-old Lori Zimmerman. And Lori went to school one day back in 1984, and she never came home. Her body was found the next day. And thank goodness, at least for these 2 cases, the bodies are found. Because when it's a missing person, sometimes that is even worse. But then again, it depends on how you look at it. That means that there's hope, that they're still alive. But anyhow, this is a case that they brought in psychics. It was featured on Unsolved Mysteries. And again, I don't believe in psychics. Okay? I don't care that you do. It doesn't bother me. You have the right to do anything you want. Just like if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. The only thing that matters is moving the case forward. So you bring a psychic in. That just shows me you care about the case. You're trying to unturn every stone. Now, I wouldn't do it, but just because I wouldn't do it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be done. But I don't believe in psychics, but they brought a psychic in on this case. If you want to know more about that case, go watch the Unsolved Mysteries episode. Dorothy Allison was the name of the psychic. I remember that because I researched her a little bit. Again, I don't believe in it. But there's 2 cases right there. We got boots on the ground, getting footage, talking to people to get more information back to me so I can make a detailed assessment of what's going on in the case. Almost like Charlie's Angels. Do you guys remember that show? I mean, I know of the show. I wasn't a fan of the show because I think it was a little before my time. Just a little. Like it was probably mid-70s when I was born in 74. You know, I started watching TV around the Dukes of Hazzard time frame. But Charlie's Angels, I know what that is. You know, you had a guy, Charlie, who sent out his angels to do his work. And they did make a movie of that later. Cameron Diaz was in it. Drew Barrymore, who I like very much. Lucy Liu. Kinda. you know, I'm being Charlie, I guess, and I'm sending out my angels. Yeah, loose interpretation, right? But that's the gist of it. It's important to get out there and talk to people. And because of a position that I am in life right now, I have a hard time doing that. But there's people out there that's watching this and have contacted me that want to do it. So I may be contacting you. If you contacted us and said, hey, I'm willing to do something, if there's a cold case in your state and you're a victim's family member or friend and you want to help, and you want to be on camera, and or if you don't want to be on camera, that's okay too. As long as you lead us to where we need to go to ask questions and get footage, we'll contact you back and we'll make it happen. And that's the gist of Exit Unsolved. Now currently, I am chest deep in a deep dive for my own before I get these two, Zimmerman and Gay case, back to me. I have been working on the Darlene Hol case that I believe Ashley had sent me. And I'm intrigued so much by it right now. It's a case that I would like to get boots on the ground and go see, but I don't think it's going to happen in time. So I'm doing a deep dive on that case. If you guys want to know more about that before I put out the episode, please go and look up Darlene Hol, August 17th, 1984. And that just blows my mind. I just realized every case that I'm talking about here is from 1984. I got one March 7th of 84, April 6th of 84, and August 17th of 84. That wasn't by choice. It's crazy. But Darlene Hol, she was kidnapped. Her 3 kids were in the house, ages 6, 8, and 1. The 6 and 8-year-old ran out naked because they were in a bathtub getting a bath at 9:30 in the morning. And by the time they got back, their mom had been abducted and her body was found later. So we'll talk at length about that case. That is what we got going on. I just wanted to relay to you the importance of this new show. It is, I believe, the most important show that I've ever done. Because there's, again, so many small town cases that nobody knows about. Because it's not in the news. But they're just as important. They're just as important to get out there and get people talking. You know? Very important. So that's what my new plan is, my new mission, my new show, Exit Unsolved. Stay tuned for more. Once we get it out there, give me another couple weeks. You know, we get everything tied up, loose ends tied up, and but it's going to be something very important, something educational to get the word out there, and it's getting you involved. Okay? So stay tuned for that. Thank you for the 100,000 subscribers. You guys mean the world to me. You really do. When I started this endeavor a year or two ago, never thought that I would be in the position that I am right now. Basically teaching, you know, and putting cold case information out there to be talked about. The people that have contacted me since I've started this channel blows my mind. I've had death row prisoners. I've had lifers who I did shows of. The suspects of videos that I have done on this channel have contacted me. Of course, television producers, news producers, but I had all that before this channel. But that's a constant. Victims' family members, the most important, have contacted me of really famous cases. Cases that I personally want to be involved with. They've contacted me. Professional football players, comedians, actors, actresses, you know, celebrities. Blows my mind. I am so appreciative, though. That's all I can say. I could spend an hour just talking about how thankful I am. But you can't rest on your laurels, okay? It's time for this new show. It's time to put it out there. Like Dazed and Confused. I know some of you guys have watched that movie. Not only a great song by Led Zeppelin, my personal favorite song by Led Zeppelin, but a great movie. And Slater in that movie says it's quality, not quantity. That's how I feel about this channel. You can't just come down here and think about, well, I got to put out another video every day so I can make more money. No. I mean, if you do that, that's fine. But that's not me. You know, you got to have quality content. And the best way to have quality content is to do cases where it's meaningful. Okay? And I really feel that these small town USA cases deserve a lot more attention than they're getting. So guess what? Me and my 100,000 subscribers are going to give them that. Okay? So thank you. Stay tuned for all these cases that I talked about in the new show, Exit Unsolved. Until next time, Maine's out.
But I